Hi guys, welcome to another Reddit video. Today I'll be on the Am I the Asshole subreddit. Alright, let's get into it. Am I the asshole for not including my trans sister in my wedding party? This happened last year. I got engaged back in 2018 and chose my wedding party. 3 of my closest friends and my fiance chose his brother and 2 of his friends. Growing up, I was not close to my younger sister, then brother. There wasn't any bad blood or anything, we just don't have a lot in common. About 2 months before my wedding, my sister came out as a trans woman. I was happy for her, that she was finally living her true life. Shortly after, she approached me and asked me to be one of my bridesmaids, saying that basically it would be some sort of milestone for her in her new life as a woman. I told her no because we had already planned everything out and the wedding was just a few weeks away. I told her I fully supported her if she wanted to wear a dress to the wedding, but it would be hard to include her last minute. She said she understood and didn't bring it up again. She ended up not attending the wedding despite RSV being guests. My parents and I tried reaching out several times over the last year to see if she was okay, but she kept telling us she was fine and that she needed to be alone. We talked recently and she told me she boycotted my wedding because she knew the reason that I didn't want her as a bridesmaid was because she looked very masculine still. This isn't true at all. She insists that if I didn't find the way she looked objectable, I would have included her. Am I the asshole? I think some people are just unreasonable. I think in this case, she's not the asshole. Not the asshole. Since when do people ask to be in a bridal party? Seems a bit rude. It used to be a thing now. Like certain folks seem entitled to be in a bridal party because of their position. It's annoying and expensive. The bridal party is about supporting the vow, not wearing a dress. Play for attention. She wanted to repurpose OP's wedding as her transitioning milestone and boycotted the wedding when OP refused to step out of the spotlight for her. Yeah, I honestly agree. I think it's an example of there not being enough prejudice to go around, so some people manufacture it to suit their cause. OP couldn't accommodate to an extra bridesmaid at the last minute, so obviously she's a bigot, discriminating against her sister for not passing. Boycott! OP is better off without that drama coming. If this is how they act with people they love and accept, there's going to be a wild ride ahead and with other people that aren't quite so nice or even indifferent. I 100% agree, but I think this is a no a-holes here situation. OP's wedding day was the most important and already planned event. Sister was making a huge choice to come out and wanted to debut to the family at the wedding. It's super easy to take these things as rejection when you are being extremely vulnerable. When I came out as gay, my mother didn't speak to me for several months. At the time I felt the worst pain and rejection I had ever felt. Now I look back and understand with sympathy, my mom needed time to process. While it was hurtful to me and I wish she'd handled it better, I can understand it didn't come from a bad place. I think putting it all behind them and trying to rebuild with sister is the best option. Looks like this is going to be a juicy one. Am I the asshole for having my ex's university admission rescinded? Throwaway because I don't want this to be connected to my main account. I, 18-year-old female, dated my ex 18-year-old male from sophomore to the end of junior year of high school. We broke up amicably and both moved on. He dated more girls during the summer while I remained single. We were still around each other a lot because our circles of friends had blended and our younger sisters were best friends. At the beginning of senior year, I still texted him from time to time because we shared a government class and sometimes compared notes, but overall we weren't that close. Towards December, things got rough with his girlfriend, and he began to lean on me like an emotional crutch, often asking me if I could come over so he could vent to me in person. Once he asked me to go out to get dinner with him, and I declined because I wanted to respect his girlfriend because I was not his friend. He then decided it was a good time to tell me that he still loved me and wanted to get back together because he could see himself marrying me and having kids one day. I was extremely creeped out because I was, and still am, a teenager who wasn't even thinking about those things. I told him that I didn't feel the same way and he did a complete 180. He called me a prude that was full of herself and said that I should be careful when no one would want a girl with brains and that he was my best option for the future. No, I ended up blocking him so I could spend the holidays in peace. I thought that everything would go back to normal, but once I returned to school everything blew up. I noticed everyone was giving me odd looks, and I was so confused until my friend plucked me aside and told me that my ex had decided to expose the truth behind our breakup. He told anyone who would listen that I was cheating and sleeping with others and almost gave him an STD. To make things worse, he claimed that I had taken videos of it and shared it with him, which is needless to say a federal crime. I was pissed. 1, I had never slept with anyone. He was the one trying to pressure me into them. 2, I come from a Catholic family who would disown me if they had ever heard a rumor that I was having premarital relations. And 3, I was being accused of a federal crime. I went straight to the dean and told him everything. We attended a private school, so that didn't take such things lightly, and I was assured that swift action would be taken. I left it at that, trusting that the school would do what they felt was right. 3 months later, I come to find out his admission to a top university, along with his full ride scholarship for football, had been rescinded. I was shocked when I was called to the dean's office and given a formal apology from my ex and his parents. At the time, it felt right, but now I feel like the punishment may have been too harsh, even if what he accused me of could have put me in jail. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I would even say the punishment wasn't harsh enough. He deserved it for being so nasty. What he did was defamation, an attack on your character. If it happened to me, I would have gathered evidences from people he told these baseless rumors to, texts, chats, etc., tell my parents, and sue his damn ass for defamation. It's okay to let them apologize, but stand your ground. Don't let them manipulate you. He pretty much ruined himself by trying to ruin you over rejection. What an ass. And aside from the formal apology, did he tell these people he vented out to that he lied to them and purposely made these things up about you? And if the next thing he does is create another issue that you got his scholarship rescinded and paint you as a bad guy, that formal apology is of no use. He didn't mean it, and it was just for formality. You are not the asshole. It wasn't your fault his scholarship got rescinded. He had to recant to each person and was moved out of the class we shared and moved to a different lunch block. I think he tried to contact my own college about the situation because I have a sports plus academic scholarship. But he was shot down. I made it clear that if he were to ever approach me again, I would file a restraining order. Would I be the asshole for not sharing my garden with a lazy friend who wants to give the bounty to her church? So I, a 38-year-old female, had COVID in March, on a ventilator in the hospital, permanent lung damage, the whole thing. A friend's sister, 39-year-old female, begged to use some of my garden space to plant a garden. I have a large farm. I made it clear I wouldn't be able to tend to her garden as I am still recovering and get winded/tired easily, and the humidity is really hard on me. All good. She promised to take care of it and planned a few things for me for letting her use the space. I need someone to come till the space. Early in the morning, I would plant a few things at a time for myself. She would drop off stuff at my house that she wanted planted, but would never actually do it, citing she was too tired. She does not work and has 2 children, the elder 14-year-old male who lives with her. I planted a few things for her on my good days, just peppers and onions. I don't eat much of either. That one day she helped, she planted a few pepper plants and she said she was too tired to even finish those. I've been trying to get her to pull the weeds, water, make fence, and generally help me take care of this garden. She always says she will, but never has. She informed her sister, my friend, on how she plans on giving/selling my full garden harvest to people at her Mormon church. I'm livid. Some days, I seriously almost called 911 because I was barely able to breathe after only working a few minutes. I was planning to freeze/can the majority of my garden to keep my grocery bill down. I told her I would give her the onions and peppers, but everything else is mine. She did no work and did not put any money into my garden. Her other sister is telling her I am being unreasonable, and her church friends think I am as well. They all think that because she plans on giving and selling this to her church, and that I should let her. But I am not religious, so that type of rationale does not work on me. I do volunteer at a food pantry and plan on giving some there. They also think I'm awful for taking away from a single mother. So am I the asshole? Edits. I am single with no children and live alone, so I do not have help, apart from my Labrador and cat that chases off the rabbits. She did bring several more plants/seeds and to plant herself. She never did, obviously, and I did not plant most of them, and stated I would not before and after she purchased them, so they died or did not get used. She spent a lot of money on these things, apparently. Example, she spent $50 on different kinds of pumpkin seeds. I told her pumpkins take a lot of space and that she would need to till a bunch of space in one of my fields to grow them. Her sister and church friends now think I should reimburse her for the money she spent, on top of giving her everything in the garden. Not the asshole. She's not contributing. Stand your ground. Literally, stand your ground. Pitchfork in hand. But don't get too dead. Am I the asshole for telling my fiancée she's not the mother of my son? Throwaway. The story goes like this. I come back from work and I hear arguing coming from my 16-year-old son's room. I come inside and find him and my fiancée, we've been together 2.5 years. My wife left us 4 years ago, yelling at each other. I ask what happened, and she says she grounded him, but he refuses to accept it. I ask him, what did he do? And he says, I cursed a bunch of times while playing games with a friend. I look at her and sort of ask, that's it? And she goes, yeah. So I tell him he's not grounded and get out of the room, so to prepare myself to eat something. After a while, my fiancée joins me and asks me what the hell. I tell her the boy is 16 and there's nothing wrong with him yelling fuck once in a while. She says that this isn't about that and explains that she gave him a punishment and I undermined her authority over him. I told her I didn't think him cussing was a big deal, and she says, well, I did. And here comes the asshole part. I go, well, yeah, okay, but you're not his parent. She sort of just started at me blankly while I took a bite of my sandwich, so I doubled down by saying, look, I love you and my son likes you, but I'm his father and you're not his mother. You get no say in what he can and cannot do. Next time you want to punish him for something, you have to go through me first, right? Alright? She looked really hurt by this and is currently angry at me, but I don't feel like I did anything wrong. Edit. So there seems to be 2/3 of you who think I'm the asshole and 1/3 of you who think I'm not the asshole. I wanted to address something I already talked about in the comments. When I asked her the big question, I asked her to be my wife, not the mother of my son. My son is almost an adult and I have no intention of forcing a parental figure onto him at the age of 16, as he has never asked me to find him a new mom. I believe he gets to choose what kind of relationship he wants with my fiancée. They never had a stepmother/stepson relationship, as my son did not want for a relationship like this to develop. Neither did he wish for someone to replace his actual biological mother. I don't believe my fiancée gets to be a parent to my son because she's my partner. Me and my fiancée talked, and thanks to you I understand I've been a bit too harsh, but I stand by what I said, and I explained to her with better wording, basically saying neither me or my son want her in the role of co-parent. She still didn't like it, but she says she understands, so we're good. Overall, I'm glad I posted this. Cheers, guys. You're the asshole. You asked this woman to marry you, to become your teammate for the rest of your lives. Moreover, your fiancée is about to become a stepmother to your son. That's a parental role and an adult in your household. You have just advertised to all involving that her opinion doesn't count for shit. You messed up, my guy. Hi guys, like and subscribe. Check out my links below.